This is for the days when you have compared yourself into oblivion and you need a life ring to help pull you out. Okay. So if you've ever read The Very Hungry Caterpillar or Brown Bear, What Do You See by artist, author Eric Carle, I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy this metaphor. Also, if you have any kids that are in elementary school or ever have been, and they bring home the little packet of readers of books to read, you may know that sometimes they're not the highest quality books. It's like, okay, well, one, don't get me wrong, I love my kids' teachers. They're absolutely amazing. I am just mind blown by how much my first grader has learned in kindergarten and first grade alone, especially after, preschooling and COVID, air quotes, unschooling for preschool and all of that. So this is not a remark for the teachers, but just the little quality of the readers that they send home. It's kind of like, what's the point of that book besides actually reading the words? It's not usually like a gets you right here in the heart kind of story, or it's a story that you've heard before and all of that. But I find it fascinating and so perfect that a few weeks ago, my first grader Deacon brought home this book in his packet, and never again, never before, and never since have we had this book. It's called The Mixed Up Chameleon. It's from 1975, which blows my mind. I just looked it up. It's from 1975, but I swear it was written for us today, because just that day I had been comparing. I had fallen down the swirl of comparison to friends, clients, colleagues, people who are doing the things that I've been talking myself out of for months, years, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then I noticed this high quality Eric Carle book in his reading folder. And I was like, what is this? Like, I felt drawn to it. So it's called The Mixed Up Chameleon. I highly recommend you check it out. Maybe get a copy for yourself and for your household. I'll put a link in the show notes. So this is going to be a spoiler alert, just so you know. I'm going to spoil the story. But the point is, there's this chameleon that's hungry and looking for a fly, and its life is just not very exciting. But then one day the chameleon sees the zoo and is just mind blown by all these gorgeous, different, unique, beautiful animals. And little by little throughout the book, and it's really cute, like the version we had at least had tabs of the different pages of what this chameleon wanted to take on from these various animals. And so the chameleon's shape actually starts to change form, and it's like part elephant, part fox, part giraffe, part turtle, part seal, part fish, part flamingo. And so the chameleon is getting really mixed up, as you might guess from the title. It's a mixed up chameleon. And then the chameleon wants to be like the people, and then the chameleon sees a fly, and the chameleon is so hungry but very mixed up because it was just a little of this and that, and so it couldn't catch the fly even though it was hungry. And then finally the chameleon has the epiphany, which hopefully we can all have, which is the ultimate, most powerful, amazing thing that we can be is ourselves. And then poof, the chameleon wish comes true and turns back into his or her or their self and gets the fly. And I was like, whoa, was this chameleon looking at Instagram? Is the zoo Instagram? Like, I genuinely was wondering if Eric Carle wrote this in 2021. You know what I mean? Like, I felt attacked. I felt seen. I felt like Eric Carle and my first grader's teacher had been spying on me in my iPhone activity for that day. I wanted to share it with you. As soon as I read it, I was like, I have got to share this because that's totally ridiculous and absolutely on point. I am a mixed up chameleon sometimes, and I know I'm not the only one, because the same clients, friends, colleagues, and everybody that I'm comparing myself to do the same thing, and we talk about it regularly. And that's why I'm throwing this visual out there. Again, you got to Google it. You got to check it out, because it'll help you remember, oh my gosh, when I'm just scrolling through the zoo and checking out what other people are doing and thinking, oh, maybe if I do this, that seems to be working, or that part, that strategy, or that marketing plan, or that. And we're just kind of patchworking all these things together, as opposed to just taking a deep breath, getting back into our bodies and into this physical space and room or car, wherever it is that we are, and remembering that we have a whole full being just right here that has answers within it, our body, our mind, our spirit, and beyond. That is powerful. And in my experience, the most fun, fulfilling, and ultimately profitable things that I've ever created have been from this space, inside out creativity, not when I'm trying to follow somebody else's blueprint. So the Mixed Up Chameleon, thank you, Eric Carle. Thank you, Mrs. B, for sending it home with my little guide the other day, because I really needed it. I needed the visual to know that I'm not the only one. And actually, this has been going on for, what is that, 50 years almost? I know that it's actually been going on for way longer, but currently I just am mind blown that this book is from the 70s. So anyway, Mixed Up Chameleon, shout it out. This is probably going to turn into a series of a book series of books where I was like, whoa, how did that enter my, pass through my hands at just the right time? A children's book that actually spoke very adult nonfiction to me. I'll share more with you in the future, but I hope this resonated. Please let me know, as usual, by hitting the link for the comment box, take a screenshot, share it, and let me know your best strategies for unmixing yourself so you can be the perfectly you-y chameleon that you were designed to be. All right, talk to you next time. Okay, technically that was the end of the episode, but since you're still here, 1, I'd love to thank you for spending part of your day with me, and 2, I'd love to ask you if you would take 30 seconds, maybe 60, to leave a rating and review in your podcast app before you tap out today. If you've already done that, it's amazing. Please send me a screenshot so I can thank you personally, and know that sharing this episode with a friend has the same magical powers, and I deeply appreciate both. Also, in case you're listening to the end to see if I ever actually introduce myself, hi! My name is Nikki Elledge Brown. I'm the host and author of Naptime Empires and this here On Her Terms podcast. You can find me around the internet at Nikki Elledge Brown in most places, but what you may appreciate most is actually over at onherterms.com. It's what I call the insider library. It's where you can get inside scoop, first listen rights, email updates every time there's a new episode, and then special insider only bonus content. It's all over in our private feed. Okay, that's a wrap for real. I'll meet you in the next episode.